Hey everyone, I'm going to be doing another round of phage treatment. Last week, on a Monday, I woke up with typical like kind of viral head cold symptoms. I had a sore throat, earache, my lymph nodes were swollen and a little bit painful to the touch. Had a significant amount of like sinus discharge. I know, okay, pretty much got a head cold. After about 3 or 4 days, the viral part went away. So I started feeling better, at least from the sore throat and those symptoms. But what happened is I got a full-fledged sinus infection, and it's like the 8th day since having that infection. And I tried a couple things, tried some Afrin to open up the airway or the nasal passages and get as much stuff as I could out. And it's just caught up with me. The infection just got ahead of everything. So now it's time to get ahead of it. And in retrospect, I think probably should start the phage as soon as those symptoms hit instead of waiting to see what will happen. Because at this point in my life, I pretty much know what's going to happen. And this is a pattern. Think about when I feel really good. Like, let's say I just come fresh from the hospital and have really clear lungs and feeling really well in the past, and then I get a viral thing. I get knocked down a notch. It's not enough to be on antibiotics or go in the hospital, so you just kind of ride out a long time below baseline. Time passes, you get another thing. Or maybe I get run down, just had a super busy week, whatever it is, you kind of get knocked down another notch. And for me, it was always been a very slow process to decide when to go in. It wasn't just, go in right away. There's a lot of, I have a life to live. And being in a hospital is not the best place where you want to be. So if I were being realistic, based on the last kind of viral thing I had when I did the phage, if I didn't have the phage, the last viral thing in this one probably would have put me in the hospital. So I'm already ahead of the game, I feel. And it's time to do this again. This time, it's really interesting. My lung function is holding. In fact, it's still higher. I took a bit of a break of checking it every day. And when I went to my local clinic last week, this was about 3 or 4 days into being pretty sick, my lung function was still 65, which is higher than it was in all the previous videos I've done. So, which means I probably was higher and came down a bit. So today I checked it again. I'm 65.6. That's really good for being really crummy for me. So since most of my problems this time seem to be all here, and the word I'll describe is packed. I am packed. Up until a couple of days ago, I've been able to just do a nasal rinse and getting a lot of stuff out, a lot. And now I'm waking up, I did 3 full bottles and almost nothing came out. And there's stuff in there. You can hear it. So I'm packed. So I need some help. So I got a mask. I don't have it. I guess I put it in the wash. I bought a mask this time instead of doing the typical with the mouthpieces. So I can really breathe it in through my nose and get it in there. Went well, no issues. I won't do a video every day. I'll probably finish my course of treatment here, do a follow-up video then, and then at some point after that, do another follow-up to see how I'm doing. So, all right, here we go. Phage therapy round 2.